Blue Sapphire. In the barren kingdom of Tosin, a reign known for its mountainous range, lived a feeble, skinny boy named Lucas. Lucas was the son of the city's blacksmith, and though he'd enjoyed a good life, the boy yearned for more. He'd always wanted one thing, and one thing only.
I want Princess Marcelli's hand in marriage.
Since his youthful days, Lucas was in love with Marcelli. He visited the castle with his father when the smith had to deliver his goods, just so the boy could glance at the green-haired princess. Once, when he and the princess were 12, he sneaked away from his father and went further into the castle to see her.
She paints too.
After some time doing that, Lucas was approached by 2 royal guards.
What's going on here? You're the smith's son, are you not? Are you eavesdropping on the princess?
I...
Calm down, my knight. Leave him to me.
But ma'am...
Thanks.
I shall repeat the guard's inquiry. What are you eavesdropping on me for?
I don't know. It's just
You're magical? How do you do that?
You've already said it. I'm magical. I've inherited some sapphire magic from my grandfather. You draw quite well. What would your name be?
Lucas, my lady.
Pleasure, Lucas. I happen to be the princess, but you already know that. Here's a hint. Stop sticking your nose in other people's businesses, okay?
Okay, I swear.
If you do promise me that, I shall grant you a position in our artist program. Only the leaders and their young may take part in it, but fathers shan't resist my charm.
Will I get to learn how to paint better?
That and more.
Yes, great. What do I have to do?
Come here every Wednesday at the second sunrise, and we shall talk.
Count on me.
It has been a pleasure meeting you, Mr. Nosy Man. It was in that moment that Lucas knew he had to marry her, and he already knew how to do it. Day by day, month by month, year by year, Lucas fell further and further in love with Marcelli, and when he was 18, he put to action his plan of marrying the princess. A risky and bold plan, but for her love, it was worth it. Lucas would go after Salicastris, the Sapphire Dragon. Everyone in Tosin knew the tale of Salicastris. Lucas first heard it from his father when he was only 6 years old.
The Sapphire Dragon had come to this land before any man, when the world still breathed the fire of the great Dragon Age. Salicastris slept for thousands of years. When mankind found him, they wanted the dragon's mystical powers to make their wishes come true. The dragon didn't accept it, but being greedy like all dragons are, he decided to negotiate. If they brought him the last sapphire from Makeup, Salicastris he'd once a year grant a wish to a lucky lad turning 18. All wishes had to be approved by him though, and he could shut down any of them. But he had never done so thus far.
Then what, Daddy?
An annual competition was made, in which all 18-year-old boys had to prove their prowess in combat, mental capacity, and magic. The best would have his wish granted by the dragon.
This is my year,
he said after turning 18. He woke up before the first sunrise and quickly went to the entrance to Salicastris's cave, where the first competitors were already piling up. They were all silent. It was a hostile place, but a few hours went by and the events began.
Welcome to the 105th edition of the Sapphire Challenge. You are the 18-year-old Tosin boys who will compete this year. I wish you all the best of luck and may the best one win.
A little later, the tests began. The first was the combat one. A sword tournament on top of a bridge. Poor Lucas was brought down in 1 second by a half-orc.
Out!
The second test was the mental capacity one. The challenge? Chess. Lucas had never played chess in his life. He didn't even know the rules, and because of that, he was eliminated after 7 random movements.
Out!
The third test was magic. Lucas wasn't a magician. He didn't even bother.
What are you doing here? Out!
When the 2 suns were setting, the winner was chosen. A tall and strong elf from the northern kingdom, probably from a wealthy family. Everyone applauded. Everyone but Lucas, who was dying of jealousy.
That elf had everything. What more could he need?
The elf stood in front of Salacastrus's cave. The entrance opened, and a cool wind came from within.
Who's the winner?
It is I, O great Salacastrus.
It does not befall me to make your wish true.
But what do you mean, great Salacastrus?
I sense a greater destiny. Lucas, is Lucas there?
Yes, I'm here, great dragon. What? Salacastrus, sir, he failed all the tests. He's the worst possible.
You dare question my orders?
No, sir, I just...
Send me the smith's son in. I want to talk to him in private.
Lucas kept looking at everyone who stared at him with a mean look. He was speechless.
Get on with it before he puts an end to us all.
Come.
How do you know who I am? And why did you choose me? The halfling was right. I failed in every test.
You mortals made up the tests. I have my own terms as to who gets inside.
And why are you helping us? I mean, what's in it for you?
I got my rewards many centuries ago. The last Sapphire of Mokap was the last piece I needed to fully reunite my body and soul. And so I could live as a mortal while keeping my dragon form. The least I could do to repay you was granting wishes.
So you were human once?
Indeed, human. And at the same time, dragon.
You're bigger than I thought.
I can be the same size as you, young Lucas. I can be any size I wish. That's the power of the Sapphire.
Wait. Power of the Sapphire?
And so Lucas finally understood. He realized something pretty obvious.
You gave the Sapphire power to the princess. You're her grandfather. That's your human form?
You did it, young Lucas. You found out the reason.
What reason?
The reason he can't grant your wish.
Princess? How did you...
You cannot marry me. You can't force anyone to love you, and unfortunately, I don't love you. After all, I'm not even human.
What are you?
I am the granddaughter of the dragon. I am a Sapphire.
So, what will it be, young Lucas? What will be your wish?
All I wanted was the princess's love. I understand now. I see now that I will never have it, and that I can't force it. So, Marcelli...
Yes?
Will you at least be my friend?
Certainly.
I wish to be the princess's friend.
Your wish is an order.
Lucas rubbed his eyes. He was in the castle, wearing his old clothes, and in a familiar place. Everything was familiar. The light, the windows, including the green-haired princess in front of him. Come here every Wednesday at the second sunrise, and we shall talk.
Pardon?
I told you to come here every Wednesday. It's when the classes take place.
Ah, yes, of course.
It has been a pleasure meeting you, Mr. Nosy Man.
Princess, wait.
Yes, Lucas?
Do you want to play with me?
Of course, nosy man. The smith's son smiled and ran deep within the castle with his new friend. But the friendship evolved to something more sentimental. Lucas learned that he can't force anyone to love him, and he didn't force the princess now. But with the time, he and Marcelli connected in a loving way that even the granddaughter of Salicastris couldn't avoid. Not a forced love by magic, but by and by, true love was born from a true friendship. So, at the end, Lucas's wish was fulfilled. Not the way he intended, but at the best way possible. Did you learn, my love?
Yes, send my regards to Salicastris. It was the best lesson someone has taught me.
And so they lived happily ever after, as a couple and as true friends. The end.